not okay. None of it is okay. Sorry, I'm just like, just pisses me off. Like, so what? Like, disabled people are having fun on holiday. Thank God. Thank God they're having fun. Just because you're sick and disabled, it doesn't mean you have to just suffer in a corner and degrade and fucking rot, okay? We're allowed to have lives. We're allowed to have fun. We're allowed to go on holiday. We're allowed to do stuff and be treated like people that can make choices about where their money goes because we're adults that can make choices, not babies. That could be a huge point of someone's recovery, right? Adventure makes me recover like really well. If I'm stuck indoors freaking out, it's going to make me sicker, isn't it? Oh my God. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, like there's better things for us. Yeah, and it's like, I know I'm in my pajamas, but I'm tired and I don't want to change out my pajamas because of a video, okay, to like fit stupid beauty standards set by creepy, like, rich people. And my hair looks funny because I've put rosemary oil in it because I'm now doing lots of hair stuff because my illness that likely the government gave me because of lack of protections against dangerous viruses, yeah, I put rosemary oil in my hair now, so it looks kind of funky because of that. And that's another thing, is that most people's disabilities and illnesses actually probably come from the government's lack of protections of the public, okay? So, like, loads of people are becoming sick and disabled or have secondary illnesses because they keep getting COVID, for example. COVID causes a lot of illnesses like MS, multiple sclerosis, diabetes, it messes up your neuroinflammation. So lots of people are starting to get neurological illnesses. I suspect I have small fiber neuropathy, which has been a lot of money to investigate and get anywhere at all on. And essentially, they have set me back lots of thousands of pounds. That is the government and the state's fault, okay? That is their fault, okay? If there's a virus that is making everyone super sick, who do you think owes us reparations? Who do you think owes us the money to cope with the health impacts of their lack of protective policy? It's the government, okay? Right? Okay, fine. If you don't want to tax the people, maybe you can just find, I don't know, they've got shitloads of money. I'm sure they can figure it out, right? Maybe they should stop spending so much money on military campaigns and genocides and killing innocent other vulnerable people. And yeah, but it's not just the viruses. Like, you know, drinking and smoking is legal purposely, probably to make us ill, because apparently your ill citizens are in the rich's interest. So literally, we're probably sick because of the government and because of the rich people in power. They owe us, okay? So it just makes me so angry seeing all this in the media and the news. You really should have something better to do than to blame the most vulnerable people in the world for this, okay? In, like, not colonial societies and indigenous communities, sometimes some of those indigenous groups valued and revered and respected disabled people, including physically disabled people, because they viewed those people as sacred, as people that had immediate knowledge into understanding worlds that they do not understand. The kind of fierceness and determination and grief and rage that you get as a disabled person is, yeah, it's horrible sometimes, but it's really useful, and it kind of makes you more aware of certain things that other people would not be aware of, which is really useful for your community, especially because everyone's going to get sick and disabled at some point. And also, we need to, like, create systems for disabled people as a community to protect them and prioritize them, and also not make sure all the labor's on them all the time, because we're really exhausted and fed up, and yeah, it's just not okay. So yeah, screw people that do this. And if you believe any of this jargon and any of this BS, like, please have a hard look at your ableism and sort yourself out, okay? I know that my friends are really good in this area, but I'm just ranting to the ether, okay? Because I just, oh my God. I would just, like, just so sick of vulnerable people being attacked all the time by absolute nonsense and lies and things that don't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's not in anyone's interest to hurt vulnerable people, okay? Whether they're migrants, whether they're disabled people, whether they're trans people or neurodiverse people, it is the wrong target. Logically, it doesn't make any logical sense to do that. They're just preying on our emotions and trying to confuse us, and we need to band together as one and get these MFs, man. Anyway, I think I'm done soon, but I just feel like I need to rant about everything. Just rant together because it's just ah. Oh, do you like my pajamas? Pajamas. But anyway, but yeah, I need more money. I mean, I'm actually quite financially privileged, like very financially privileged. However, I spent like 17 grand on my medical bills. So like I am struggling financially because of all the medical stuff, probably because of a really serious illness that the government has given me because they haven't put enough protections in against dangerous viruses. So thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And like I said, my disability benefit, I was super lucky that it was like quite smooth. When I was in the England, it wasn't. And yeah, but that does not cover my costs. So, what are people going to do that can't afford their medical bills if they have to go private, which they probably do? Like, they are obviously just going to have to suffer and be sick and needlessly suffer. People are not going to be able to afford to go private. And even if you do, that's not ideal either. It's not like it's just a wonderful once you can afford private if people can. Anyway, it's just like, okay, so the people that can't afford healthcare, they're just going to continually get sicker and die earlier because of that. Like, it's not okay. None of it is okay. Sorry, I'm just like, just pisses me off. Like, so what? Like, disabled people are having fun on holiday. Thank God. Thank God they're having fun. Just because you're sick and disabled, it doesn't mean you have to just suffer in a corner and degrade and fucking rot, okay? We're allowed to have lives. We're allowed to have fun. We're allowed to go on holiday. We're allowed to do stuff and be treated like people that can make choices about where their money goes because we're adults that can make choices, not babies. That could be a huge point of someone's recovery, right? Adventure makes me recover like really well. If I'm stuck indoors freaking out, it's going to make me sicker, isn't it? Oh my God. I don't know. It's just like, yeah. Like, there's better things for us to be worried about where money's going. It costs disabled people on average £1,000 more than everyone else just to pay for their illnesses and disabilities and their disability aids, etc. per month. So it means that we are like in the minus more just because we're disabled and sick, and we have to spend more because of all these things. That is what the benefits are meant to offset. However, they are not enough, because if that's the average, mine is half. I'm getting half of that average. And so again, I have to pay for the rest myself. So we're not even getting like covered with what we're currently getting, never mind trying to reduce it and make it harder and more traumatic and purposely traumatizing so that people don't get their benefits and money from the state. So yeah, that's not even covering it when you do get through. And I think it's also, I have to re-film because I've already done this, but the microphone was off. That the whole process is like deliberately traumatizing and deliberately can leave you with like more like anxiety. It's really hard to get disability benefits. Yeah, and because the process doesn't give you what you are owed and deserved, like, then there is a practice of needing to over exaggerate, like, as in you talk about, well, when I say over exaggerate, that just means like saying the worst day, like what that's like for you, because again, very hard to like quantify illness and disability anyway, but also like you won't get the bare minimum of what you're owed unless you over exaggerate. That's why it's a part of what people have to do in order to scrape something like from what they are owed, like I'm saying. So like, say someone has, like, there's a story of someone going on holiday when she said that she couldn't even leave the house because she's too anxious. Like, maybe she was trying to do that worst day thing. Maybe she didn't update it because it's so difficult to update it. Maybe there was much more nuance in the paperwork, but the media didn't look at that or like report on that. I would say that yes, I'm like that sometimes, and sometimes I can travel different countries. Yes, that is something that is completely legitimate. Like, but like obviously taking out of context to attack disability is like is criminal, really. It's like disgusting. It's like the lowest of the low. I'm just saying, like, the reason why people have to like really fight for it is because of the actual system itself being really ableist and messed up. That's not the individual's problem. That's not the individual's fault. They are owed this money. So like it's not okay that to get the bare minimum of what they're naturally owed. If they just said like, oh yeah, like this is like the nuance. They won't get the like what they should be getting, right? So that's not the individual's fault if that is happening all the time that aren't getting disability benefits that they're owed, and they're often in debt because they can't. I work with energy, they can't afford their energy, which is another thing that, like, actually there's free energy out there that we can make from our, yeah, anyway, that's another thing. The point is, like, you know, and a lot of them say it's just too traumatizing to try and get well mode, or like they're not aware of it. Again, they deliberately make the information hard to find, etc. So it's just enraging. It's really hard to get disability benefits approved, especially with PIP. Thankfully, I'm in Scotland, so it's like not as ableist, basically, although it can be. And they make it hard to update as well. Update the people in charge of your benefit about what's going on, because there's always a risk of them getting cancelled unfairly and then like the whole process getting messed up. Again, that's just like deliberate again, to try and reduce the state support of vulnerable people. And yeah, and also, like, I think everyone should be supported. Like, obviously vulnerable people even more so, because it costs more, because we're more messed up by the society, blah blah blah, and more disadvantaged. But actually everyone should be supported by it. That's the only useful thing the state is meant to do. Obviously it doesn't, because it's useless, and we should just have our own governments within our societies ourselves, with direct democracy in our little communities and an equal share of power, which we can do, and we should do, probably will do. But yeah, it's that's part of why people are getting like found out to be like, oh, it's different to what they told us. Well, yeah, because you make it really difficult for us to tell you stuff and to update stuff, and you make it traumatizing and inaccessible, essentially, put on purpose. Like, okay, I'm gonna fill in an ADHD form when it's like 20 pages when I'm ADHD. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that because that's obviously what I can do because do you know what I mean? Because of my disabilities. Like, oh, it's just like those evil rich people. We all need to have the same target, guys. It's the only way forward. Just to make sure this is in here, that like the wars and the military, like welfare is really not that much of the budget compared to how much we spend on blowing innocent people up and like in genocides and like doing really messed up stuff, like evil stuff. So like that should be the focus, okay? It's not on vulnerable people getting the money they are owed and deserve to survive. Maybe it's like all the extra, way more money that we're spending. Yeah, I'm just going around in circles now. But do you know what I mean? I'm just like, disabled people are allowed to have fun. Disabled people are allowed to have money. Disabled people are allowed to like go and enjoy their lives. Like, what is the point otherwise? There's no point otherwise. So can you just back off, you fucking ignorant, and actually not ignorant, you're just very spiteful, manipulative, cunning, evil, rich pedos. Fuck off.